Girl, baby wasn't walking. I'ma say this, and I'ma say this nicely. Chrisean need to go sit down somewhere, and she need to get this baby some help. She need to get herself some help. She need to stop engaging with all this internet shit and beef and all this shit, and keep back and forth with that boy lying and playing on y'all mind. Cause she ain't never played on mine. I don't pay her no attention. I already know she fucked up in the head. But it's making me mad that this baby can't get down and walk. And I'm looking at him right here. It's clear that things are wrong with him. So why she ain't taking this baby, I don't get this. But we don't know what she's doing behind closed doors. We don't. And I'm going to be honest, I don't think she's doing that. I just don't think so. Because she like to document every fucking thing. Should have been documented that. That shit don't make no fucking sense. Get your ass off the internet whining about.
In the long-running conflict between Chrisean Rock and Kemp, which has suddenly revived, Kemp has fired the most shots. Chrisean Rock is not pleased with Kemp's direct comments and parenting criticisms, and her cashier is dismissing Kemp's opinions and doesn't seem impressed by her unwanted advice, saying Kim finds it hard to keep her mouth shut and instead keeps talking about everything in the hip-hop industry, including everyone. Kim finds it difficult to discern between genuine concern and this harsh judgment. Kemp has something to say about everyone, as always. She's criticizing Chrisean Rock's parenting this time, focusing on her young kids specifically. Kemp criticized Kron for not demonstrating genuine concern for her child in some blunt and severe remarks.
I'm gonna say this nicely. Chrisean need to go sit down somewhere, and she need to get this baby some help. She need to get herself some help. She need to stop engaging with all this internet shit and beef and all this shit, and keep back and forth with that boy lying and playing on y'all mind. Cause she ain't never played on mine. I don't pay her no attention. I already know she fucked up in the head. But it's making me mad that this baby can't get down and walk. And I'm looking at him right here. It's clear that things are wrong with him. So why she ain't taking this baby, I don't get this. But we don't know what she's doing behind closed doors. We don't.
There has been a social media uproar over Kemp's harsh evaluation since many followers have seen her remarks as more degrading than genuine concern. Recent developments at Blueface's Los Angeles residence, where she was allegedly evicted despite Chrisean's efforts to make amends, seem to be consistent with Kemp's critique. Kron vehemently opposes the rapper's suggestion that her health issues are preventing her from being a good mother. For those who haven't been following Camp Chrisean, she once caused a stir on the internet after she got into a fight with him. In a move that made everyone talk, Crotch decided to get a big tattoo of Blueface on her cheek, which caused more criticism from social media platforms that she bargained for. Kemp was one of the naysayers who suggested in 2024 that she focus less on our toxic relationship and more on being a mother. Kemp said, "Girl, I thought I liked you when you had that little big-faced baby look like Charles Barkley. What are you doing? We're attempting to see milestones. He should be able to support his body by now, so we want to check to see whether he is crawling. I hope he's holding his head up because I can tell that your mother is telling you this. Baby Rocky Ducky went to a pebble off the Flintstones, and you had 2 years to run around and bash up everyone, girl Chrisean. Give the baby to a daycare or something so he can learn to crawl, and bring Mr. Purple Face along when you buy." Chrisean's pregnancy drew attention to her child, and her turbulent relationship with her baby daddy, Blueface, has been filled with highs and lows, including violent episodes and controversial moments that have been reported by news outlets and shared on social media. Yes, in response to your inquiries, Rock and I are officially done. It's all business. When Kang claimed to be pregnant after posting a string of positive pregnancy tests on Instagram in 2023, Blueface said, "I tried it and clearly it wasn't giving," before she announced, ostensibly suggesting that Blueface is the father of her unborn kid. Blueface strongly refuted her allegations, asserting that they were no longer together and casting doubt on the child's paternity. "She's carrying another person's child, not mine. Rock had dated 10 other men in the previous year before I saw a DNA test. I understand that you all thought she was all about me, and I agree, but the truth is what it is, and my BM would be helpful. It is a red flag that she must be drinking during her pregnancy." The issue grew even more intense when Carissa Stafford, Blueface's mother, who also appears on the Ante podcast on Zeus Network as part of the trio that includes Tokyo Tony and Kemp stepped in to refute the pregnancy allegations and suggest that the entire situation was a hoax. Due to their beautiful looks, these three women from the ONT podcast frequently go viral and are well known for their crazy online pranks. Covers a wide range of topics, and some famous people have interacted with T.I. Kemp's repugnant representative. Carissa responded to Chrisean's pregnancy by saying, "Absolutely not pregnant." She also never misses an opportunity to express her opinions. If that man allowed such an exercise, he would lose his license. One of her ex-boyfriends gave birth to a child earlier that month. In September 2023, Ronnie shared a striking photo on his Instagram, stories that showed how much he looked like the baby with the message, "You are not the father." Initially skeptical of the paternity claims, Blueface quickly agreed to Ronnie's allegations because things were getting out of hand. "Until I saw this, I thought I was tripping too," he said. "And he is claiming the same thing as well," she sort of told herself, as she celebrated the news on social media and expressed happiness at his newfound clarity. Ronnie's post was screenshotted by Blueface, who also added, "I got 1 BM and 2 kids till further notice." He stated in another tweet, "I'm free, which is the best news I've received all year." He even mentioned a fake paternity test that Crone had previously conducted. "I didn't think it was my child, but I knew something wasn't right. When I read about the DNA test, it sounded a little odd. It was fake, and I had no influence over it. Furthermore, why would you have a baby in Baltimore when you and the alleged father live in LA?" Thinking face emoji. In response to Blueface's tweets, Chrisean expressed her gratitude that he had decided to avoid her and her son. "You're in the way anyway, so I'm glad you won't leave us alone," she remarked. "When he posted his penis, do you know how angry I was? I remain repulsed. He is so awful that he is at a loss for ideas." Crotch appeared to have chosen Blueface as the father of her child despite the initial paternity dispute, and their relationship has grown increasingly strained as a result of Carissa's previous comments about the potential for a relationship between Crotch and Blueface. Attempting to get married in order to maintain their romance, Con and Carissa's past came to light during the exclusive dinner commemorating Blueface's restaurant reopening in January, which they each live-streamed separately. According to reports, Blueface requested his mother to respect his decisions, and she said she would try her best to do so. Chrisean protested when Carissa recorded her, stating, "We just didn't like the recording part. Just didn't like the cloud chasing." Her friend continued, interview.
We not like that. We not on that though.
Yeah.
We just didn't like the recording part, maybe.
Yeah, we didn't like the cloud chasing of it.
As the social media frenzy around Cash and her child grows, T.I. Kemp must have felt compelled to revisit her critique of Chrisean's parenting, advising her to focus on her baby Cash and stay away from the internet drama. Online disputes are nothing new to T.I.A. Kemp and Kemp, who have entertained fans with their ongoing feud since. Kemp offered unwelcome parenting advice to when many supporters viewed Croc's response to Kemp's most recent comments as more degrading than helpful. The conflict between Chrisean and Kemp intensified in January 2024. Chrisean just stated that a phone call would have been a better approach to handle Kemp's concerns and recommended her to avoid discussing them in public.
Bro, stop speaking on me. Go back to clapping those saggy of yours. Just go back to mother, bro. You feel me? All you gotta do is, man, encourage the next mother, pray for the next mother, be there for the next mother. Passing judgment, trying to be funny, like I don't got feelings. You already did this before, auntie. And you nobody aunt. We don't know you. You're a fun lady, but we don't know you, bro. In real life, we don't know you, bro. You feel me? And even if you was my aunt, just call me like you really love me, bro. You don't know what's really going on for real and what's really going on for real. Like, I don't know what's really going on with your kid, bro. But you would want us to pray for him, right? When he got stabbed up. I pass judgment. Oh, he outside. He banging. He this. He in the streets.
Additionally, Pan advised Kim to focus on getting her son off the streets rather than giving her unwelcome counsel. Fans have naturally taken sides in this online controversy, with Crush's supporters applauding her for standing up for herself and her son and asserting that Kemp's remarks were primarily intended as a form of humiliation. A disturbing event. From last October, in which Kim's son was involved in a drive-by shooting that injured a guy in his 60s while delivering drinks to a grocery shop, is referenced in this jibe. When she was forced to post a denial of her son's involvement in the incident, after allegations began to circulate about her and her son, Kemp was given a dose of her own medicine. However, some of Kemp's fans contend that her harsh comments were justified and that her questions about the baby's health were valid. Regardless of supporters' thoughts, it is clear that this feud will not be settled anytime soon. This dispute raises the question of whether social media is the right platform for these kinds of discussions. Rock and T.I. Kemp have a history of debating on social media about whether or not it's proper to express such concerns about Rock's parenting, and their conflict skirts the line between genuine concern and harsh criticism. It remains to be seen as part of the Anti podcast. Kemp appears to harbor resentment at Chrisean whenever they meet, but the rumors that Chrisean was expelled from her baby daddy's home because of health problems that might have an impact on her ability to parent have stoked the fires. We need to consider if Count is going too far in meddling in other people's issues or if Kemp has a point in condemning her. Please use the comment area to express your opinions. We appreciate you watching.